Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new showcase, and this time I want to share with you something that I recently finalized painting, and this is prepared for a tournament that I want to participate. I wanted to use the Psyker, the Librarian conclave, and I had only one Librarian, so I paint two more. Here are the two Librarians that I just finalized. So if we start from the left, here I will zoom in a little bit. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, here we have his Timural. He is the Psyker from the Dark Vengeance kit. I did not did any change on this because as I'm following the Dark Angels iconography, it's really matching with the rest of the army. I went with the blue for the armor, and the thing that I did the other way around is I went for the color, the whitish green color for the robes, for the clothes outside, and red inside. Normally all the rest of my army is using red for the clothes, but I decided to change that. As you see, there is this part in the just in the breast where you have the eagle or the symbol of the Dark Angels, as we say. So I decided to go for red background with the white symbol. So this is the miniature where I did the tutorial on the painting of the force weapon. Here you see, and then we see at the back is the clothes armor. I really enjoyed. I think it's a miniature with a very nice detail, and I just went for something quite standard, but adapting the colors to my army. So I really enjoyed it. One thing that I would recommend is I painted per parts. I did not glue it the front and the back. I just paint this separated. Also the head is the only way to reach really the head if you want to paint it. Keep separated, and you see that the base is 32. It's a little bit weird. It's because I use an extension that I bought some rings to extend the bases to 32 millimeters. So if it's needed, I can use that in future for the rest, for rebasing all my miniatures. I don't need to remove them from the base. Just add this ring that you see here, and although it looks like the base is not as tall as the standard one, is the same height, because you see that the guy is really standing on top of a regular base. Now we go from my second Psyker. I wanted to have one Psyker on bike, and I had this miniature from a Cyborg. Let me see if I can zoom off a little bit so you can see the full miniature. Okay, so you see here. So this is a miniature from Cyborg where I add some changes to make it look like more, or to make him to match more with the rest of the army. The bike, I keep it as is coming. I did some weathering and dirtiness on the wheels and on the bottom part of the bike. Not too much. I like to keep my army clean. I don't want, for example, the vehicles look, or the bikes look dirty and the rest of the army look clean, because then it's a mismatch. But I wanted to add a little bit of dust and make these wheels a little bit more interesting by adding some pigments. The pigments are now fixed using varnish. And then the only changes I did really is I add the backpack of the Space Marines, because this kit have not backpack, and I did my own psychic hood. So you see that there is a psychic hood behind the head, and I changed one of the shoulder pads. Very small touches. I don't want them to be noticeable. I just want to help to integrate this miniature in the rest of the army. As you can see, this bike is much bigger than the regular bike. He's standing on, if you see, he's standing on a regular base. I will just put next to it another bike so you can compare the size. So this is really a huge bike. Okay, so you see it's quite bigger than a regular bike. But I really enjoy the design of this bike. I think the design of the bike, it's matching very well with the Dark Angels thematic. Let me turn, you can see the other side, and then I want to show you here. You see that they have an eagle at the back. Everything is pinned because it's resin, so I pin almost everything there to be sure that it's not going to unglue or it's not going to fall apart easily. So the only remark I find is the finishing of the armor plates does not have the finesse, the fine finishing as we are using on Games Workshop. So this can be sometimes, if you're using dry brush or using other techniques, the middle will tend to look more rustic, more the finishing more rougher, less clean. So this is one thing that you have to take into account when you are painting this. It took me a little bit more time to do some of the finishings and more additional work. I think at the end it's looking right, it's looking great, and yeah, and I really like it to add this bike in my collection. I have 3 more characters on bike, and maybe some of them are going to be part of my challenge on converting, on making an army with full conversions. So this is all. As you can see, I went for a different pattern on the sword, on the force weapon. Here I went more for something like linings. So here we see a little bit more of yeah, here you see a little bit more of the detail. Sorry for the noise. Okay. Okay, so I think the detail is great. You see that there is the miniature, the armor is riveted with gold. So I did a little bit of freehand because there was not patterns on the cloth, so I decided to do this small pattern that is very similar to the pattern that we have at the back of this guy. So you see it's very similar. Here is small, detail is smaller. So that's all what I want to share. Now I will do some fancy pop pictures, nice pictures of these 2 guys, and you can enjoy them with some nice music. So that's all so far. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.